A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Recording in
I'm
progress.
honored in welcoming you all to the very first TraiNext 2021 Vision to Experience, organized by the IEEE Students Branch of SLTC. So what is TraiNext? As an undergraduate, industrial training and internships are much more important to us. So during this pandemic, many people are missing the opportunity of going into industrial training or internship. For some, it's just postponed to a future. So to give these undergraduates all around Sri Lanka and to the students of SLTC a clear idea of what industrial training is and what internships are for their betterment of future, TraiNext is here to help you all out. So before beginning the session today, to address everyone who is present here and to welcome you all, I cordially invite the chair of TraiNext 2021, Mr. Kumudita Pomal, to welcome you all.
Thank you, Hasan. Very good evening to you all. I'm Kumudita Pomal, chairman of the project TraiNext, and honorable guest Dr. Lalit Vijayatunga, Dr. Neil Bogalanda, Chartered Engineer GRAS Gunatilaka, Mr. Janaka Kumarsinghe, Chartered Engineer E.K. Indranatha, Mrs. Padma Samadivakara, Mr. Sitri Hevarachi, Ms. Anupama Bandara, and Ms. Sachin Dharmaratna, all participants and my dear organizing committee. It gives me an pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to you all presence here on behalf of the entire TraiNext community. And I would like to express my special gratitude to you esteemed panel and session moderators who have accepted our invitation to preside over the discussion on the internships and how to survive in industry. Also, I would want to use this opportunity to give a quick overview on TraiNext. One of the most significant obstacle of the most undergraduates is the gap between them and their industry. They do not have real grasp of the industry until they start working. So this is the project which is organized to improve the interrelationship between the industry and undergraduates by IEEE branch of SLTC. So today, as the first phase, the panel discussion has been organized and under the topic. Also, this is just beginning, and TraiNext hopes to do more programs related to concept of industry and undergraduates in the future. We look forward to your continued support as it is grateful to us in organizing these programs more successful. As time goes, I don't expect to talk anymore. So once again, very warmly welcome you all, and I hope you will find this highly engaging and fruitful and beneficial for your future career. Also, I hope this discussion will be productive and next few hours will be interesting to you all. Me and my committee are humbly requesting your support to make this memorable and successful event. Thank you. Over to you, Hasan.
Thank you, Mr. Kumudita, for your wonderful thoughts. So now, moving on into our session, we do have an amazing panel of resource persons who are present here with us to clarify all our doubts and to give an insightful knowledge on what industrial training and internships are. So we have two set panels of resource persons, one who are related to the field of engineering and IT, and the other who are related to the field of business and management. So let me introduce themselves to all the participants who are present here today. So first, from the side of engineering and IT, we have the General Manager at Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau, who is a BSc Engineering Honors in Civil Engineering, who holds his Masters in Hydropower and Structural, the Chartered Engineer, GRAS Gunatilaka. Sir, a warm welcome to you. And next, we have the Chief Electrical Engineer, Gaul Area, Ceylon Electricity Board, who is a Chartered Engineer and who holds his MBA from the University of Colombo, who is also a BSc holder in Electrical Engineering from the University of Moratuwa, and currently a member of the IESL, Chartered Engineer E.K. Indranatha. Another warm welcome to you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Sithira Hewarachi, who is a cybersecurity professional, information security analyst. We have Mrs. Padma Samaradvikara, Director, Quality Division from NITA. A very warm welcome to you, Madam too. So then we have Mr. Sithira Hewarachi, who is a cybersecurity professional, information security analyst at Sri Lanka CERT, a visiting lecturer from the side of cybersecurity at Informatics Institute of Technology, who holds his master's in cybersecurity and digital forensic from the Kingston University. So a warm welcome to you too. So next, I would like to move on to the panel of resource person from the side of business and management. We have the director, the CEO at NIDEC Consulting Private Limited, who is also the director at Talawakala Tea Estates PLC, and who holds his PhD in management at Management and Science University of Malaysia, Mr. Dr. Neil Bogahalanda. Another very warm welcome to you, sir. Next, we have the advisor to the president of SLTC, and who is a senior lecturer at Sri Lanka Technological Campus, Dr. Lalit Vijayatunga. Another warm welcome to you, sir. Last but not least, we have Mr. Janaka Kumarasinghe, who is a Chief Operating Officer at 1 Billion Tech Private Limited, Executive Director at Kentridge Private Limited, Senior Visiting Lecturer at University of Moratuwa, and who has his Masters in Asia Pacific Human Resource Management at National University of Singapore. Mr. Janaka Kumarasinghe, another very warm welcome to you, sir. So we also do have two more special people who would assist all these resource persons and the students in clarifying all their doubts. So let me introduce them as well. They would be the moderators for this event. First, we have Ms. Anupama Bandara, who is a civil engineer at Avendra Group, and she is currently reading her master's on structural. She would be assisting on the side of engineering and IT. And next, we have Ms. Sachini Dharmaratna, who is currently an assistant manager, emergent business information technology at Citizens Development Business Finance PLC, who is also a BSc holder in computation and management, who got her BSc from the University of Peradeniya. So now let me go into the proceedings of today's event. We would have two breakout rooms. So the first one would be for the relevant side of engineering and IT, where you would find the resource person related to that particular field on the first breakout room. And the next would be the business and management breakout room, where there you would find the relevant resource person from related to the field of business and management. So all the participants are requested to pick their relevant breakout rooms and join us through the breakout rooms, where all our resource persons and the so-said moderators would be assisting you to give more about an insightful idea on industrial training and internships regarding to your specific fields. So I hope I would be seeing you all in the breakout rooms. Thank you.
evening to our resource panel and everybody. And I would like to request everybody to switch on their videos and our panel to switch on their mics and others to mute the mics.
Recording in progress.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Anupama, we can hear you.
Yeah. So as the first question, I would like to ask Mr. Gunatilaka, what is the definition of an intern or a trainee to the industry? Mr. Gunatilaka, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So my first question is to you.
Anyway, it's okay.
Except the panel, can you all please switch off your mics? Mr. Gunatilaka, was my question clear to you?
Okay.
Yeah, my question was, what is the definition of an intern or a trainee to the industry?
That means on the intern trainees thing is you have to come from the NITA. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will support.
Not only yes. So we are providing the training for the. Actually, I told earlier also that in general state institute we are providing for the state institute such as technical colleges, state universities, like that. Okay. So I have wondered about your institute, SLTC. Is it under that category? So can you explain that one?
Actually, I'm not from SLTC. I graduated from Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. And I completed my training through NITA.
Yeah, that same thing as in CCB also same. I would tell you that CCB have two components, two organizations, one for the consultancy, other for the construction. Okay, the construction part is our sister company, 100% on CCB. All construction activities is done by our Central Engineering Service Private Limited company. It belongs to CCB. Okay, CCB is doing only the consultancy works. Earlier, 5 years back, we did both construction and consultancy through the CCB. Now it is different. Yes.
So, according to your point of view, who's a perfect intern to your company? If you are choosing an intern, what would you look for in an intern?
Yes.
Sorry?
Can you partner again? Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Why
that one?
So, according to your view, who is a perfect intern to your company? What would be your definition about a perfect intern?
Yes, this our organization, we are providing that perfect intern. We call not intern, industry training assignment.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I will project my next question to Mr. Indranatha. Mr. Indranatha, what is the expected personality of a fresh graduate from university according to your point of view?
Yeah, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Kumudita and I think the Thisuri coordinating me and having this chance to speak on behalf of in front of you. So also I would like to mention this is an excellent opportunity for the undergraduates to take some idea regarding their career, how to grab their ideas and all those things. So when I come to your question, actually in university courses, state or private, they are gathering lot of things as a base knowledge, academic knowledge. But when you go to the industry, we have very narrow down. We have to focus on very narrow areas. For example, if I take one engineer who passed out university and go to the, let's say, power engineer, power or electrical engineer, pass out and find a job, he might have a chance to join one of the company like LTL, Lanka Transformers, let's say. When he have a chance in LTL, he has to do transformer related things, that is related to machine and transformer power system, only some small areas. But that person should be competent enough to incorporate all the aspects he gathered in the university to that industry. Industry expects that. Industry needs a lot of innovative things from the new fresh engineers to ease their production, to make increase efficiency and use IT and so many related things. So there is a challenges to the young engineers, as I understand, because they have a lot of theory, lot of academic knowledge, but they don't have much practical knowledge. So how can we reduce this gap? There are so many formal ways in university, in all the universities and all the technical courses. There are so many formal and identified ways. One is as we speak, that is internship. And again, there are so many field visits and internal practicals and your projects. All those things help to improve your practical knowledge. Apart from that, all the young engineers should focus on, they are willingly grab some practical knowledge. What I mean is, you can work under electrical or mechanical technical company. Sometimes you might not get much payment, but you can get the experience. You can see our environment. So many things to learn. So we should grab all those things. If you are going to be an engineer, you should be practical. So in this season, when you finish your A levels, you start your career as a young undergraduate, or then you should start this having practical knowledge and all those things. You can go construction site and you can see what are happening there, all those things. Finally, you will end up with perfect engineer with a good background, good practical knowledge. Apart from those things, he should have good English knowledge, good language, always that is essential in the industry. That is a good personality. Also IT knowledge and all those, some extra activities, extracurricular activities, if we take part some societies and some sports, everything helps in the industry, because he can face his career when he go to the industry if he has all round knowledge and everything. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good explanation for the question. And meanwhile, I would like to let all the participants know that any question is welcome, and if it's worth for everybody, like if we feel like it's worth for everybody, we will project your questions to the panel members as you request. And moving on, I would like to ask my next question from Mrs. Padma. What NITA is, and what kind of support and guidance is given to the fresh interns and fresh graduates through NITA?
Good evening, everybody. NITA, it is the National Apprentice and Industrial Training Authority, which is the leading organization of the country to provide the industrial training and or the internships for the undergraduates and the students from the vocational training institutions, as well as the trainees in the lower level courses such as craft apprentices and so on. So it is the NITA, and in addition to that, NITA has some other roles to develop the national competence standards for the NVQ or the national vocational qualifications is done by NITA. And in addition to that, the assessments, NVQ assessments, through recognition of prior learning for the current employees, and the NVQ assessments for the apprentices under NITA is done by our organization. Actually, we have a separate section for the industrial training, which is known as the Special Industrial Training Division under the Training Directorate. So almost all the universities, state universities, join with us to provide the internships for their undergraduates, and almost all the vocational training institutes of under the Skills Development Ministry join with us to provide their on-the-job training. So any undergraduate, maybe from government university or a private university, can join with us. If it is a state university, directly the universities, they request the training opportunity from us. And if it is a private university, even from the private university, the private universities, they can request the training through NITA for their undergraduates. So when they ask for the training opportunities, we check, depending on the field, we check what are the training requirements. And then based on that, summary of the training requirements, which is known as a training order, will be prepared by NITA with the assistance of the academic staff of the universities, and then it will be forwarded to the related industries. If it is a civil engineering course, so we forward all these training orders with the letters to the industry, civil engineering industries, and we request the training opportunities from the industry. And the list of training vacancies will be sent to the corresponding university, and then the trainees or the undergraduates, they can select based on their requirement, or maybe depending on their hometown or whatever it is, depending on their requirement, they can select the vacancies and then send us. So after that, we provide we conduct awareness program about the training before starting the training, and the trainees will be placed in the industries by signing a training contract with the industry, and then the training monitoring as well as the training assessment will be done by the NITA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Padman. As a graduate from ISL, I also remember the guidance that you all gave me, and I'm very thankful for that. And my next question will be projected to Mr. Gunatilaka. When we just pass out from the university, most of the students, just like me, are wondering about the path we should take. Like if you take the engineering as a whole thing, we would be like wondering whether, like if you select the field of civil engineering, we can be wondering whether to join roads or buildings or whatever it is. As per your experience and knowledge, Mr. Gunatilaka, what are the guidance that you can give for a fresh graduate to select a field for himself or herself according to his or her will, along with their degree?
Yes. Now, CCB, we are doing the service for the most of
I think I really can't hear you.
For example, roads, bridges, building.
Yeah. Mr. Gunatilaka, I can't hear you. Is there any problem with the connection? Can others hear Mr. Gunatilaka?
No, sorry, we can't.
Yeah. Mudita, can you please look into the matter?
Ms. Anupama, I guess we'll move on to the next question and we'll get back to
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Anurad's question later.
Yeah, sure. So moving on, my next question will be for Mr. Sithira. Can you hear me?
Yes, Anupama, hi.
Okay. According to your point of view, what are the key points to know in order to face an interview successfully, like to withstand from the other candidates in an interview?
Right. So the first thing is, now in order to get an interview, you need to send out a CV, right? So your CV has to be in a perfect condition. So I would recommend, when you are making a CV, the first thing you need to know is, or first thing you need to remember is to you need to make a CV that with the things that you only know or that you have only experienced, not lie about things. Maybe you might add few things based on the requirement that the organization may have listed down in their job description. But I would not recommend you to do that, because the people who will interview you will know that, and they know if you are lying. So first thing first is, you have to make a good CV, and the best achievements have to be on top, and that is the first step to go into a interview. And also in the interview, I think normally, now since you are going as an intern, especially the organizations mostly will not expect a lot of things from you, because you might come in straight away from the university. So they will always expect you to communicate well, and also they will also expect basics from your area of study. Now in my case, it is cybersecurity, so they will ask you questions based on those basic areas, and also on the things that you have added into your CV. So that's why I said, when you're putting things onto your CV, put only the things that you have experienced, that you have done, that you have achieved, and also the things that you have, the things that you know. For example, now if you are going for a cybersecurity internship, you might let's say you know about penetration testing, so just put it. And you know about cryptography, you can put that. But let's say if you have heard about something like security governance, maybe you have heard it, but you don't know, or you haven't experienced it. So don't put that. So based on that, they will ask you questions. And the key to get an opportunity to work as an intern is to be humble, be you. You can't since they don't expect a lot of things from you. So what you can do is, you can as I said, say, don't be afraid to say no if you don't know something. And because it is better than going into a shell and try to tell something or answer incorrectly. So don't afraid to say no, but do some research, do your own research. Now when it comes to cybersecurity, it is more about doing your own research, because as far as I know, all the degrees are giving you all the basic knowledge and some sort of practical knowledge, but you will expose to the real world scenarios when you come to the when you come to a job, or when you come to the industry. So you do a small research. Maybe if you have your friends currently working in those organizations that you are applying, call them and ask them for few tips, because that makes no harm. And be prepared for that. I think if you apply it for 5 organizations, I think you may pass all of them if you do these things right. Keep it simple, don't take it very seriously. I mean, take the interview very seriously, but don't try to make it too complicated. Don't be afraid, be confident. So I think when you are, if you are confident that you know that everything that you have put onto the CV is something you have done or something you have achieved or something you have experienced, right? So even if they ask some questions from outside your CV, then you can simply say no because you haven't done that. So then they will understand that, because that is better than lying. And even let's say even after you lie, and when you get into the when you got the job, if you get the internship and if you don't know how to do that, that will be a problem, right? And that will be a problem to you and also to the organization that you hiring as well. So when a student coming from an institute like SLTC, the expectations are a little high, but you need to know the basics and do a little research about the organization. And if you have friends like that, just call them and ask what kind of interview they're going to do. Sometimes they will give you a small exam to write, and or maybe sometimes they will ask you to do some presentation or something like that. So since these days we are into the online we are doing online interviews. So yeah, so those are things that you need to remember before you going into the interview. And when you are in an interview, these are the few things that you need to understand and execute. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My next question will be projected to both Mr. Sithira and Mr. Gunatilaka. We'll be expecting answers from both of you. And as we all know, when we join a renowned company as an intern, we are paid. We are paid, and we are supposed to do a particular job. So we need to be doing that for the. As I'm a civil engineer, I have an experience in civil engineering. So when I was in training, I need to do my part to get the construction going. And whilst I want to learn something from that too, like how can we have the balance? How can we have the balance of learning new things for my career and giving something from me to the company? How can we have the balance? First, I will ask Mr. Sidira.
Yes, Anupama. Now, when it comes to I don't have the experience in the engineering field, so I will take my domain for this example. So
it's all right.
Yeah. So when you come to an industry like cybersecurity as an intern, the opportunities are there. So you just have to say yes. So you just have to grab it. And also now, when it comes to cybersecurity is a part of IT. Yes. And also it is a very huge domain. You can do a lot of things, and you can be different people. Like if you have, let's say you have friends in your same badge, and those your 10, if you have 10 friends, for example, those 10 can be 10 different people, or 10 different have 10 different titles in cybersecurity after your internship. So you need to, in the internship, what I would recommend someone to do all the things that you can do, and make sure you also meet the deadlines. When I say the deadlines, don't wait till the deadline. Try to at least do it or complete it before the deadline. So then you will have enough time to do something else, or to be a part on something, on a new project which is not which you are not a part of, right? So then you can learn this and also learn that. So that is my recommendation. And then you will know, you can identify where you want to go. Like like I said, you can be a pen tester, you can be a security software developer, you can be a incident handler, things like that. So internship is the place or the period where you can find yourself, that who you want to be. And I would say, say yes to everything. Like, if let's say you are working on a particular project, if you can finish that on time or before, maybe, ask your seniors, ask your, co-interns to, take you to that project maybe, and you can learn few other things as well. So if the internship period is 1 year, you have a lot of time to understand yourself and recognize what sort of area that we would like to go. Because as I always say, cybersecurity very huge domain. You can do a lot of things, right? So experience in cybersecurity, experience is the main thing. Your degree and all the other professional qualification comes after that, because if you are not skillful, you can't sustain in this domain. That's the main thing I have seen. So your degree is important, yes, to get into a job, because now I'm working for Sri Lanka Cert. You need to be an undergraduate to be a intern here in Sri Lanka Cert. That is, of course, yes, but you can also develop your skills. In other countries, the degree is not a very much of factor, but here in Sri Lanka it is. But it is always good to have a degree, because without knowing the basics, you can't actually do it, because you can't expect the organization to be, tell everything to you, how to do this and that. You need to learn. And like I said, if you don't know something, or even let's say it's very hard to you, just say yes and try to learn how to do that. Google it. These days you can, YouTube, Google, you can learn a lot of things. I think so. I think that's the way forward when it comes to cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is all about, like I said, it's self-learn. You can do your own research and grab things. So yeah, so if you can do few more things when in your internship period, that will come as a bonus. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And my next question will be for Mr. Indranatha. As we all know, not many of the things we learn from the university is applicable in the practical, practically in our jobs. Essentially, there were so many struggles that even I had to face because I didn't learn that in university. Most of the things that I had to do in the job, as an example, labor handling and all. So, Mr. Indranatha, what will be your advice to handle these kind of practical situations as a fresh graduate? Of course, as for an experienced person, they know how to. As a fresh graduate, what would be your advice?
Yes, Anupama, that practical things normally it depends on the organization actually, where you are going to do your training session. Sometimes directly they are what we study in our academic and all those things. But whenever you come across a problem, there are so many ways to sort it out. That's the best thing we're learning, because at university we can't solely depend on the lectures and academic what we get from the lecturers, but we have so many places to grab our knowledge, that ideas, because we can most of the time our training period are in mid of the course. So when there is a practical problems, that means you have not studied before, then you can keep that to solve from the after we started again your sessions. So that's the way that you can consult your lecturers and supervisors and your seniors. That way, when you are solving problems in that way, it will be come to your heart, that will freeze inside, because it will help you to improve your knowledge and everything in an effective way. Otherwise, giving some ideas to it won't retain with you. So other thing I have to say here, when you are going to training, that in Sri Lankan context, most of the organizations, they are not adapt proper system to train the outsiders. So we have to go and waste your time, lot of things, and no proper procedures to train the undergraduates, even other people. So what you have to do is, you are courageous enough to take the training. You have to go behind them. You have to take their ideas. Sometimes you have to meet the down layers, take the ideas. And this is solely depend on your attitudes, because in Sri Lanka, I have personally experienced those things. If we not competent enough, courageous enough to take the training from wherever we go, we can just stay time, we can waste time and come back, nothing in. So what should we take emphasize here is we should go there and ask questions, ask things. There are so many things to refer also in every organization, particularly in CEB. There are libraries in every power station. Everything is there. All the documents are in for the reference. So you can refer those things, those books. Not only CEB, other organizations, CCB and everywhere. There are so many things to refer. So we can sort out a lot of problems, and we can meet engineers and go and ask. If we ask something, they will definitely help. Otherwise, they won't have time because they are also busy. They will do their jobs. We stay somewhere else. We are not getting proper training. So best thing is to go behind the even down level people. We can understand everything. So training is actually turning point. When you go to training, if you do it properly, you perform there properly, you will have definitely chance when you go pass out your university. You can imagine, you can sometimes try that particular company for a job because you have idea of that job. So this is very serious. Training should be taken effectively by, you have to plan that, and you should go to desired place. Normally through NITA you are getting places, and you can try your desired places to go for implant training. So that will make a success of your career.
Mr. Gunatilaka, can we get Mr. Gunatilaka online now? Because Mr. Gunatilaka, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So my next question will be for you. I want to know whether the projects and the nature of the experience is considered when a student applies for a job as a fresh graduate after completing the degree. I mean, when someone is applying for a job as a fresh graduate, does his or her experience, like the project that he has worked in, or the nature of the experience he had as a undergraduate trainee, does it count?
Yes, in CCB, to get the job opportunity, they must have a associate membership of the ISL. That's number one. That's very important. Without any associate membership from the ISL, we won't recruit anybody for the jobs. That's very very important, that issue. And generally, their training is not a critical. Training experience is not a critical one. However, their academic, say for example, the student may apply for the jobs in a 1 year period. At that time, for that, those who students or graduates, the experience may be valuable, but implant training is not the critical issue for that part. But after graduation training is very important for the recruitment. Yes. Is this clear for you?
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. And from one of our participants, there's a question. I think that question should go to Mr. Indranatha. Ms. Vilani is asking to mention some networking companies and the things that she can work in those companies.
Sorry, I didn't get networking companies.
Yes, networking. Can Mr. Sitira answer us for that? Yeah.
Yes, Anupama, can you repeat the question, please?
She's asking to mention some networking companies that she can work for and have a good training.
Right. So I can't really, spell out some names here. So maybe it's coming from who?
Dilan.
Dilan,
She must
okay.
be a student.
Dilan, maybe Dilan can communicate with me on maybe on LinkedIn, so I can help him out, because since I'm representing Sri Lanka, sir, I can't do that. So I will anyway help him out. If he can contact me through LinkedIn, I will happy to help him out.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope that question helps Ms. Dilani. And my next question is to Mr. Indranatha. According to your experience, is the practical knowledge of an undergraduate who are recruited as interns adequate for the job? I mean, as your experience with you have with fresh graduates, were there practical knowledge adequate for the job, or it was below the expectation of yours?
Yeah, that internship, we are not much concerned about the practical knowledge, because internship is for the gain the practical knowledge. That is not strange. The practical knowledge is normally not enough. That's we should understand, but it is not a much problem in the internship. But after that, during that period, he has to grab and all those things before he is taking the sole responsibility. But as I explained earlier, if somebody can have the practical knowledge from the beginning of his studies, and even let's say that in our education system, practical knowledge is very less. Even school education level, we don't have much practical knowledge. We are confined to books and theories and all those things. That's a disaster. Actually, we have to change it. But in universities also, that chance is not enough in Sri Lanka. But individually, we can't wait until systems are changed. So we have to do ourselves whatever we can. So if you're going to be a technical person in the future, you should have practical knowledge. There are so many ways to collect those things. You should grab those things from the outside environment and everywhere, whatever possible, and be a good technical person, technical engineer or something like that. But in the internship, it is good if he has a practical knowledge, but does not having enough practical knowledge doesn't make big issue. He can if he talented enough, he can collect everything in this that organization and go ahead and have a good responsible job.
Thank you so much. Every fresh graduate, a complaint of every fresh graduate is that they don't have enough opportunities in the field, like not having enough jobs, not having enough opportunities, salaries are less. There's a lot of problems. So I would like to ask Mr. Sitira, are the current available opportunities are adequate for the graduates who passes out every year? And if there's a competition, what would be your suggestion to them to stand from the crowd and grab the opportunity? And yeah.
Okay, so Anupama, is this for internships or the jobs?
No, for the jobs after graduating.
Right. So
with the qualification.
Yes. Okay. So now the thing is, like normally you do an internship when you are currently an undergraduate. So if you do well in the period of your internship, most of the companies, they will try to hire you again after your graduation, right? That I have seen a lot will do, and here even in Sri Lanka cert, they also do that, because it is better to hire them, because you know them for a period of time. So you don't have any questions, you don't have to do any background check, you don't have to especially interview them. Maybe there is an interview in order to, that is a tradition, but normally they will hire you. So I think if you are currently in the industrial training period, or you are hoping to go into a internship, do well. As I said, do well, try to do something new, try to suggest things, because you will have you will have the room to do lot of trial and error, because as I said, they will not expect a lot of things from you, as I said, especially when it comes to practical knowledge. That is there. And also, if you are trying for a job, I would say again, keep it simple. Especially now, let's say, even though they didn't ask you to join again, maybe you can simply apply for the same organization that you did your internship, right? There may be a chance they will call you back. And also, now since there will be a lot of graduates, even coming from SLTC, there is a competition. But since now what you can do is you can be unique, you can do a good research, you can do a good you may be someone who have done something special than someone else, not just I think the GPA won't be a problem, because a lot of people going behind this GPA thinking that that will be I think GPA will comes to the picture if you are going to a academic profession, but not in the professional area, or if you are going for a normal job, that won't be a problem. But if you have done something, if you have done some lot of extracurricular things, they will know that you can handle a lot of projects all together. So that will be in your CV. So when they go through your CV, they will know, okay, this person is he can be a leader someday. We can expect things from him. He has this potential to do this and that, than a person who has done only their academics in the university or in the institute. So I think that is where you can be someone better. And also, again, as I said earlier, you can also talk to your friends or who are senior to you even in your institute, and check whether they have, or they taking people. Are there any openings for new jobs? Call them. And if you have industry specialists, talk to them. You can use LinkedIn as a good platform to communicate with people. So those are the areas that you can use, so you can utilize to get a job opportunity, because with the COVID situation, it is really difficult to get a job these days, even internship. So that is because you can't go and physically meet someone even if you wanted to, but you can use a LinkedIn, a platform like LinkedIn, to communicate with them, even they are not here in Sri Lanka. So I think those are the platforms where you can use in order to get on top, and more than doing something on yourself. Like I said, I think then then it is easier, because then sometimes they will have a very casual talk between, they might schedule a small casual chat and ask what you do, what you like to do, what are your special areas where you can help our organization, something like that. So then after that, they will realize, okay, see, we have to give him a chance. So then they will call you back saying, see, we can arrange an interview. So those are the areas we can do that, because I have seen a lot of people talking to me for opportunities. So there are people who have got jobs like that, right? So I think that can be that you can use technology as well in order to get on top than that. I don't really encourage people to have the have a kind of a race or a competition. Your competition is always with yourself yesterday or 2 days back, right? So I don't really like the competition, but in order to get a chance, in order to get the exposure, you can use technology like LinkedIn as well. So apart from your studies. So yeah, those are the areas I think I can search.
Thank you so much. That explains well. And there's a question from one of the participants. He's asking the panel to describe y'all's experience when you were an intern, and what kind of problems that you faced and how you overcame it, and a little explanation. I'd like to go to Mr. Indranatha first.
In our time, it is actually very far away, that around 1990 years. So we had the main place as our internship and training electricity board. And again, not like open opportunities like this. There are few organizations in Sri Lanka we can get in all for the internship and training sessions. Actually, in those days, they were sent us to feel that is not a bad thing, but good thing. But we overcome some problems. We have to manage with the technicians there, not the engineer. At least a technical, that means supervisor or something like. No one there. We have to manage with the technicians, and sometimes they ask us to climb those large towers. Even we did that. That was a great experience actually, because now we can't do that one. Those days we have a chance to do that, and we tried that one. We went 132 towers, because 132 towers hotline maintenance is a very different thing. They are working while there is that tower is energized. So and that time they asked us to go up and be close to there, but we didn't go to the energized part. But up to there we had the chance to go there. So and again. We can understand what they are doing at the bottom level. They are doing so many things, so many things while they are working. So when we are going to job, that was a good understanding how they are working, so that we know how they are working, and how to solve their problems, and what are the loose points, where we should address those things. That idea we should be able to take by fortunately, because there's a purposely no one direct us to go to work with those downstream layers, but we had a chance and we went there. So those days we had a lot of problems, transport and how to find out places, and we have no idea like this, where should we work, where should go, what are the potential organizations to work. So now you can plan. You should plan your total career now. That, let's say that if you want to be a partner of some company, you can try your internship there. Let's say that you try to go to ESM Dialogue or something like that. You should try your internship there and perform well. You can have an idea before going there, and think that is my organization, and work there hardly, and then you can satisfy your superiors. You can join that company. That chance is there. But those days we didn't have such a chance, and we just got whatever we have training period, and we went there and we got some training out of that, because no one educate us, and no such competition like this. Just taking those days, main thing is we had jobs when we pass out, because no idling or no time to spend without jobs, because there are few engineers pass out from the universities, and so that reason we can find out the job. So competition is less than this, like this. Now you can't stay like that. Yeah, engineering is a just general degree. Now you should add some qualifications and something into you. Otherwise, you can't survive this competitive environment.
Thank you. And there's another question from one of the participants, an interesting question of course. I would like to direct it to Mr. Sithira. Suppose you are in an interview as a candidate, and if the interviewer asks the following question that I'm going to say, what would be your response? The question is, if your immediate supervisor in the company is doing something illegal or having a commission or something from company-related transactions, how are you going to act? That is the question from the interviewer, and you are the candidate. What would be your answer?
Yeah, can you repeat that? The superior?
If your immediate superior in the company is doing something illegal or having commissions or that kind of a thing, what would be your response? That's a question, and you need to answer that as a candidate.
Okay, that's a very rare question, but interesting question anyway. But Well, I would say I would not support that. If I'm the candidate, I would say I would not support that when someone's doing something illegal, even though I will not pass the interview. That is not something you should do, especially when you are in the cybersecurity domain. It is actually a domain that is based on trust. Now here in Sri Lanka, sir, what I do at the office, I can't divulge that to anyone, even my parents, right? It has to be with me and the company. So, but anyway, when someone's doing something illegal, that has to be said. So without going to your parents or anything, I mean, I think I would say I would go to a manager. Maybe, you know, it is happening with the direct superior. So I would go to someone even higher level, and I will explain that to them. So I think that would be the best answer that you can give, because it is not good to, because the answer they might want to give them is, I think, whether they want to support that. So you should not say that you are supporting that. What you said, what you should say is, when you are working in a company, you have to be humble. You have to be work towards the company's betterment. So if someone is trying to do something bad and trying to trying not to be a good employee, you can always report that, especially when you are in the cybersecurity. But I think that is same with other domains as well. So I think that would be the best answer that you can give. I don't know whether people will ask you that kind of question, but in case if they ask you, please say no. I would not support that, and I will definitely report that to my manager or even higher people in your organization. So that would be the perfect answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. So moving on to Mrs. Padma. What is the procedure, like if someone wants to apply for an internship through NITA, what's the procedure, and how to select a suitable institution, how a candidate should select an institution?
Actually, any person individually can ask for can register for the industrial training.
Even without a degree? Like
yes,
even without an institution.
Yeah. If it is better as an institution. If you can register with us, it is much better. So institution can request for the training opportunities for the undergraduates of that university or any other institution. Then we can proceed it. To find the proper industrial establishment, actually, we have a network of industries for different trades, such as engineering, agriculture, health, whatever it is. We have a network of industries to get the industrial training opportunities. So depending on your requirement, we will write or we will communicate with those industries and ask to provide the training opportunities, training vacancies. Maybe as an example, if SLTC asks us to find 30 vacancies for engineering undergraduate, so we will write to different organizations such as CEB, Sri Lanka Telecom, or maybe CECB, whatever it is, depending on the civil, electrical, mechanical fields. So we have the network, so we have all the links with the industry. So we write to the industries. We communicate with them via email or over the phone calls or whatever it is. We communicate with them and we find the training vacancies from them. And in addition to that, I think each and every institution can have a strong link with the industry to support to us. So the SLTC also can have a good link with the industry, especially during their the students' final year project, so they can seek the industry requirements. The students as well as the academic staff can communicate with the industry to find about their requirements, latest technology, and based on that they can do their final year project. Then automatically they will build the link with the industry. So in that case, if they have a good reputation or link with the industry, while we are asking for the training opportunities for SLTC, they will know about the institution and their students. So they will quickly or properly respond to our request, and then it is very easy tonight also to find the training opportunities for students. So that is the way.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Siddhira, this question will be for you. Sometimes, due to the unavailability of adequate opportunities, graduates have to wait for a job for like 2 to 3 months or maybe 6 to 12 months. It depends. Some graduates has to stay at home. So staying at home for that kind of a time and joining a company, how will that experience be?
Well, now between jobs, it is not good to have a gap between 2 jobs. But if you are straightly, if you're applying for the first job and you still didn't get that, I think that is okay. But I don't think people who are graduating from a student who's graduating from a institute like SLTC and so on have that kind of problem. And also when it comes to cybersecurity, there are a lot of opportunities, right? So now with the given situation of COVID-19, yes, there can be hiccups, but I don't think that there are that kind of a problem with the industry right now, even in Sri Lanka, right? So if in case if they have to wait for some time, I don't think it will take like 1 year or 2 years. Maybe it can be months. So what you can do is you can learn some new technology. You can learn some you can do some research. Maybe you can, if you are a software developer or something like that, or you have the ability, you can develop something. You can do freelance. There's a lot of things that you can do, because now I have seen there are a lot of people, they have their full-time job and they do some freelancing as well. So that will be extra money for you if you are talented in that, and also that will help you to develop more also. And so that also you can put into your CV, because that also will be counted, because freelancing, it's not free, and it is not just it's not something like you can do it for fun, but there is a value for that, right? There are platforms that offer those kind of opportunities. You can register yourself for free, and you can even maybe even earn some of your for your pocket money or something like that. Maybe even be better than that, in case if you had to do that. And also I would recommend you to even continue that, if you can do that with your full-time job, if you get one, to continue with freelance, because in the IT field, any IT job would you have the chance to do freelancing jobs as well as your full-time jobs. So I would say, in case if someone has to wait for few months to get their first job, you can do those. You can try those out. Definitely there will be benefits from that, because you will get to work with people outside from your country, maybe if not Sri Lanka. So then you will have a lot of opportunities there as well. Maybe sometimes they might be able to talk, if they recognize you, you are a person who can do something, can do some extra stuff, or are talented. They might even offer you a job there. So maybe you can, instead of getting a job here, maybe you can get a job somewhere else, right? So I think just don't wait till someone gives you a job, or something like that. And also, as I said earlier, you can also talk to people through those platforms like LinkedIn, and communicate with those people, ask them, are there any openings? There's no shame in that. It's like, it's not something, it's asking for a job because you can do it. It's no shame in that. And it is also better, so they know, in case if they have a opening, they will okay, remember that someone 2 weeks ago asked me about a job opportunity, so they will reply you, they will ask you to come for an interview. So I think 1 or 2 years is too much. I don't think there is that much of a problem here in Sri Lanka, even in Sri Lanka. So sometimes you may have to wait for few months, but during those few months you can do the things I said to improve your knowledge and have some experience going into the first job. I think those are the few things that I can suggest.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And next question will be to Mr. Indranatha. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suppose you are in an interview board in order to select someone for your company, and when you look at the CV, there's a gap in between from one job to another, not after the graduation. One job to another for like 2 to 3 years. There's a gap, and as a panel member of the interview, what will be your impression about him without talking to him?
Without talking?
Yeah, before talking to him, when you just go through his or her CV, you see a gap. So, what would be your impression about that person? What will you think? Will you put him to the interview, or will you just reject it?
No. I have to go through properly throughout his or her CV. Then there may be some things he or she might have engaged in that period. So within CV, I can find out some reason for there. So if it is so, no problem. We can take him to the interview and discuss regarding his opportunities, what that time he or she has used to spend. So otherwise, there may be some personal problem he or she having in that period, and that is also an excuse, I suppose. Without knowing and discussing with him or her, I can't decide. So I think best thing is to take him or her interview. If he or she match for other qualifications is all right. Definitely, I would like to take that person to interview and check that merely that gap doesn't matter for rejecting that particular person, because there may be so many reasons. So without job, and sometimes there may be a real reason that he is not suited for the job, and that will be a case for recruiting him as a employee. Otherwise, there may be so many chances to give, because as there are so many reasons, we should discuss it, that particular person, and decide. So interviewing is not a problem for that first reason.
Yeah, that's a fair answer. And the next question also will be projected to you. If an intern is planning to work for the same company after graduation, which she or he has worked as an intern, during the internship, what kind of a personality that person has to pose? To stand from the others, yeah.
That's a good question, because almost all the studies end up with the job. So that's nearly our target, to join a good company and have our career there. So for that, what we should do is we should select desired company or organization for our internship. That's the first thing. So then we have to work hard. That's the main thing. Work hard and our perception should be changed. We are not no more trainee there. I am employed there. So that's the way we should think. That means you should start your work as an employee, and you might have to train everything and get idea and do the work. But first you should think you are not a trainee, you are an employee there. So you should work like that. And whenever there's a chance, you should show your colors to the superiors. Their satisfaction is the make you path towards your goals. That recruiting and everything depends on their superiors willingness. No? So we have to work utter satisfaction of the superiors and take the challenges, do some innovative things, and think always I am an employee here. I have to work. Don't confine to the time. Starting time is good, punctual, and then sometimes you have to work after office. Those things will be monitored by the management definitely. Your habits, your working ability, your dedication, everything will be monitored by the management panel. Then only you will give a chance. I have that experience. So many places asked to come back to our company because you are a good person. Some of my friends have invited like that. So they have joined there and continue their career at that companies. So that is the best way. Work as an employee at the beginning after selecting desired company. That will help definitely to carry out your all the things based on that company, and you can have a good relationship with that company.
Yeah, thank you. So the next question will be for Mr. Gunatilaka. Is the age a barrier when applying for a job? Mr. Gunatilaka, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you repeat that?
Is the age of a candidate a barrier for a job application? Suppose the candidate is around 55 when applying for the job, or like too old or too young. Does it apply?
There's upper limit for jobs of 45. Yes. For the government, we have to follow the government procedures. In that case, there's upper bound. Lower bound normally it's exceed, no, that's maybe 24, 23, no. So that's not an issue. There's upper bound 45. Yes.
Okay,
to join the company. Yes.
Mrs. Padma, this question is for you. How should a trainee prove to the NITA that they have completed the training successfully? And for such trainee, what is the recognition given by the NITA?
Yes, actually, a trainee who joined to NITA training has to complete a daily diary. During the training period, he or she must complete this daily diary based on the activities done at the industrial establishment. And in addition to that, we have our monitoring staff called inspectors. They regularly visit to the industries. So they will check whether the training is adequate for them, or if there are some gaps, they will talk with the intern, and in addition to that, they will talk with the management. So if there is a gap between the requirement and the available training, then they try to make the arrangements to do some solutions, or otherwise they will change the industries if possible. But this is a bit difficult. So in that way, we monitor the trainees, how they do during their internship period. And in addition to that, finally, we do the training assessment. Viva assessment will be done. So they have to prepare a training report during the training period, and based on the training report, and in addition to the daily diary, we conduct Viva assessment. So it consists of normally the member from the institution, NITA, if possible from the industry, which the trainee undergo the training. So then we can find whether the training is adequate or he or she got the training properly during the period. If it is not satisfactory, then the training will be extended. So that is the procedure.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mr. Indranath, can you kindly explain how you will be measuring the performance of a trainee while training? Suppose you are the immediate superior of a trainee, and how you will be judging him or her?
Basically, is all the aspects we observe, attitudes, first thing, and discipline, punctuality, and not only the technical knowledge he or she grabbed, other aspects also we measured. Let's say that training people comes there and go to the common room, play this subordinates, and all those unnecessary things, waste their time. Those trainees are, some will get minus marks, and also if they have attitude to come and ask questions. First day we should give introduction and everything, and be a path to the trainees. This is your path, this is the way you are solving problems, this is the superiors you can handle, your problems are come this way, and finally if any problem you can come across, even myself, like that. So if they are coming with the problems and asking questions and sort out things, they have good attitudes and they are willing to take something out of our effort. So, but some people are coming late, going early, and spend time with wasting their time. All those things we are measure while when we are having a chance. So end of all those things, end of 1 week or something, 2 weeks time. So we will do the assessment with the comparing their daily diary and everything. We will ask some questions and things. They are very bad. We will have to take the action. Otherwise, we will admire them and always help in our organization. I worked there in Lakshapana Power Station also. Lakshapana is a very best place to learn all the engineering things regarding generation, because all the things are visible. Generators are outside, not like other power stations. Other power stations all are hidden, but here all the things can be seen by your natural eye. So then you can understand. So we had a good arrangement for trainees to have an idea, learn everything, touch, work, operate, everything we are given them. So final stage we check their knowledge, and then only we gave them how they are ability and all those things. We are not repeating them, but we will warn them that your attitudes are like this. But I happy to say most of the young guys are good. They got a lot of things. They are like to train. They are like new ideas. They are like all the environment, and they did training sessions very well. Very few are not did like that. All are good. Almost all are good.
Thank you. And there's a question from one of the participants called Tivaka, and I would like to project that question to you again. He's asking what kind of career opportunities he has in Sri Lanka when he's specializing an environmental field like environmental engineering. I think you will be able to answer it.
Environmental engineering.
Engineering, yeah. Do we have adequate opportunities, or is it not yet popular in Sri Lanka? I think he needs to know something like that.
Yeah, but in government there are environmental authority, but they are not recruiting engineers, I suppose. There are some physical degrees and all those things they can ignore. But there are some research institutions in Sri Lanka, environmental studies. So directly I can't mention names here, but there are some private parties, so they can join. He can join, but as to say, not much popular like other countries. There are chance, but not much open like other countries. There are fair chance. That is emerging job, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that explains well. And I would like to ask Mr. Sithira. It's a question from one of the participants, Darsha Mendis. Can an engineer be a good manager instead of taking an engineering field path? Can he shift his or her path to a management field?
Yeah, I think that would be those who's in any profession or any domain to be a manager one day, right? If you don't plan your career that one day that I would be a manager, there is no fun in that. So first of all, you should have that kind of plan. Yes, I think it doesn't matter whether you are an analyst, whether you are an engineer. Yes, you can be a manager, but in order to be a manager, you have to know everything from the ground level to that point, right? So because otherwise you can't manage. If someone comes and asks a question from you, see, how are we going to do this? If you don't know those kind of issues in those areas, you will have problems. So then you have to realize these are the areas that you need to do. I mean, that's why normally when companies when they want to hire managers, they will specially mention they need to have at least 7 years of experience or 10 years of experience, because when you come into that point, you have that kind of experience to be a manager. That's why they have, that is the recommended time period that you have to spend in the industry as a engineer, as an analyst, or someone it can be someone who's not a manager. So I think yes, it is not strange to engineer to be a manager. All the managers or senior managers or even beyond that is once intern, then an analyst, maybe an engineer, maybe someone else, and then they have come to that point. So first of all, what you have to understand is you have to do what you are currently doing and always have a plan. Next year I'm going to be someone, I'm going to do this. If there is a qualification that you need to fulfill, I'm going to do that, and the demand from my superior, see, I want to be this person. Or again in that like that, now when you are coming, you are graduating, you may be somewhere around 22, 23 years of so in between that age. So you have to keep a target, before 30 I'm going to be a manager. When I'm 35 I'm going to be someone else, or a CEO or something like that. After 40 I'm going to be owner of my own company. So that is the way you should do it, because even do you like your job, even you like your job as an engineer, after 40 or 45 you can't do that kind of a job, because it is, with the age the ability to do things will be less, right? That also you have to understand. So I think there is no such thing as an engineer can't be a good manager. Actually they can, so don't worry about that. The only thing is you have to plan your career. Is there anything that you need to fulfill in order to get there, that you have to achieve? So those are the things that you need to do. And yeah, ultimately you will become one. I mean, automatically you will become a manager one day. So there is no such thing as engineer or a person who is involved in technical stuff can't be a manager.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And there was another question from one of our participants. When we were in university, we had the chance to practically experience everything. I studied civil engineering, so I was participating, making mixed designs. We were actually doing the concreting and everything. We did everything practically. And I would like to ask Mr. Indranatha this question. Nowadays, due to this pandemic, most of the students didn't have the chance to go to the university physically and have the practical experiences. So everything was done through Zoom or my MS Teams. So I think there will be a gap in between people who actually did it with the people who did it through Zoom or MS Teams. What do you think that the online students can do about to fulfill this gap?
Yeah, really speaking, that is a disaster at online education and even in schools and universities, both are same. During this pandemic, if we have no any other option, we have to go for that. That's why we are doing online education. Different scenario. I know that most of the universities now even conducting their exams also throughout the throughout online actually. I don't know how they are estimate their levels because students are doing so many things, not like physical. Online exams are outdoor. I don't know how long valid and how they measure that one. I mean, they estimate their marks level, first class, second upper, all those things. Anyway, I think without even classes or exams, it is better to have at least online. That's why we are trying that one. Whenever possible to move that to physical stage, we should do some things again that on behalf of that. Let's say that theoretical knowledge maybe they can grab through online, but in practical, like training sessions, some organizations are giving implant training also through online these days. I have heard that they are giving assignments only few hours per day. They can see that how factories are working and how things are doing. They are other remotely in factories, but this is not effective definitely, because whenever possible they should have chance. They should revise whatever they have done and take proper knowledge regarding all those things. Let's say that some batches finish their education and they have to do at least 1.5 years of online education plus training sessions. In their internship or before they are moving to the real responsible job, they should have proper internship program, at least 6 months or something like that, and then only they do the responsibility, because we should definitely give time to them. Otherwise they can't perform their job, because they know only the things happening, but they have not seen how they are happening. So that chance should be given, how to see practically do things and take real idea regarding all those things. Without that, we can't do. We have to suffer due to this pandemic. We lost a lot of things. Again, we will have to at least recover all those things, give 6 months time training and some more active program session to those undergraduates who are going to pass out before going to real job. Otherwise, that will be a real disaster. Definitely, we have to suffer for those things in the within next 2, 3, 4 years time. So minimize those things. We have to adapt some effective programs to revise whatever they have done within last couple of years and 1.5 years time. Otherwise, industry and university and everything will be a problem. So sort out, we should have some contingency plan definitely.
Yes, it has to be like that. And there were so many questions related to the ISL membership. Since there's nobody from the ISL in the panel, I would like to let you all know what I know. In order to obtain the ISL membership, you need to go to the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, and it's in Kalam 7. You can find the location in Google. And then there are a list of institutions with them that they recognize for them to give the membership straight away, like University of Moratuwa, University of Peradeniya. There are few institutions that they give the membership right away, and then there's another list that they give the membership after putting you through an exam. And for the foreign students also, the procedure is the same. You need to go to the ISL and talk to them about your degree and your grades. And someone has asked whether the A-level results matter. Yes, it matters. You need to have done your A-levels in physical stream with combined maths, chemistry, and physics. And you, as I remember, the minimum passes you should have for all three subjects are C. And if you have done, if you are qualified with that A-level result and you have completed an engineering degree, you can go to ISL and talk to them and ask from them what subjects you need, what exams you have to take under them to proceed for the ISL membership. And I think that's it for the panel discussion. As a last question, I would like to project this question to everybody in the panel. As an experienced person in the field, all of you are well experienced in your particular field. What will be your advice for a fresh graduate who's just starting your career? I will start with Mr. Sidira.
My suggestion would be again when you are in your when you are doing your studies, do that. When you can do your and participate in a lot of extracurricular activities as well, which will not interrupt your studies. Complete those as well. That is equally important as your the modules that you cover. And also try to be unique. Try to do something new. Like if you are a developer, you can have interest in cybersecurity. If you are a cybersecurity, if you are a cybersecurity person or doing your degree in that area, you can also learn some development, because in the industry these days, cybersecurity and software engineering goes together. But cybersecurity, development people who are, like software engineers, they don't have the knowledge in cybersecurity, right? So they don't know how to apply cybersecurity into their the coding. So you need an extra person to do that job, or maybe hire a security guy to do that. But if you can do both, you can stand up from others. So likewise, so then that makes you unique, because you know both things. I would say don't try to do a lot of things. Try to be a specialist on one area. If it is cybersecurity, choose one area. It can be governance. It can be you can go as a SOC analyst. You can be a red team specialist. You can be a pen tester. So identify or recognize where you can be good at during your internship, and when you apply, you know where you want to go. So I think be a specialist on one area and learn other areas as well. So that will be my suggestion. So if you do that, you can sustain in this, especially in this cybersecurity domain, because and also do your own research. Even I had to do my own research if I want to sustain in this domain for another, let's say, 10 years, because people who are graduating tomorrow will know a thing or two better than me, right? Believe me. Because the technology is improving, and the studies, things that they will put into your modules will get increase or get updated. So I have to, if I want to stay in my level, this level, or go in front, I have to do my own research as well. I have to be updated every day, because cybersecurity as a whole is a area, it gets updated every day, every minute. What I say now can be obsolete tomorrow, right? So be updated, be educated, do your own research, try to be unique, try to do something new, try to find a solution for a problem that is currently here. Yeah, so those are the areas I think you should, I think I would give someone in terms of cybersecurity domain. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. What will Mr. Gunatilaka's advice for the fresh graduates based on your experience? Is not available. So I'll move on to Mr. Indranathan.
Yes. Your question is how young engineers perform when you are recruiting as a fresh engineers to the...
No, actually, based on your experience, what will be your advice for a fresh graduate? Because you're a well-experienced person, you know better about the field.
It's only depend on the organizations. Let's say if engineering firm, so normally young engineers are going step by step up to the top level. So at the bottom level, they have a chance to deal with all the subordinates, and they can find out every nook and corner of the organization. So work with the subordinates and laborers and technical middle technicians. That idea is very important actually, because when they go next step, they have to handle that bottom layer, ground layer as well, and down layers. They are going to take a management decisions. So for that management decisions, they should be thorough about the behavior of the young engineers and also the staff around him. So then it is very easy to take a decision. This is not only one step by step, it is important. So at that stage, we should understand if we do jobs properly, if we dedicated, if we do hard works, if we do assignments, if we do innovative things, we got the challenges and work with the other parallel engineers, co-workers, middle level technicians. That will greatly help, because if you try to build up your career within the organization in the next stages, it will be greatly help when you are taking decisions. Because we experience it now. When we are giving some works, we can understand that engineer may be burdened due to this lot of works. So we should reduce relaxing and dedicate the work to other workers, other engineers like that. Because that layer will be always stress when there's a problem arises. Normally it come down, and bottom layer. If it is engineering firm, those engineers will be stressed due to those workload. Example, TEC, Technical Evaluation Committee reports, all those things. Superiors will be give orders to prepare those reports, and that those young engineers has to be bear all those things. But that is real experience, and they are going next.
Can't hear Mr. Indranathan. Can others hear him?
No, Miss Anupama, I guess we lost Mr. Indranathan here. Mr. Indranath, can you hear us?
Yeah, now it's all right. Yeah, what happened?
We had some technical difficulties and we lost you for a moment, sir.
Okay. That's the thing. While we are doing hard work and dedicated works, we should keep in mind our experience and everything, because we are moving towards the organization top level, top hierarchy. That's very important, because we have to use that experience in the future. There's a benefit of that same organization. That's it.
Yes. That's it as the discussion, and there's another final question which will be directed to Mrs. Padma. There's that participant has emailed for a job opportunity, and he or she hasn't heard from the company. The person is asking whether he or she has another way to approach them to get a job. Since they can't visit the company right now due to pandemic.
Actually, now he or she need to go to the same company or to find some other. I didn't get the question properly.
No, that's not clear to me as well. I think he needs to approach the same company because he has email, and what's the next best thing to do?
Actually, during this disaster situation.
Yeah.
Maybe if he is from one of the institutions, he or she can apply through the institution to the same company. So then personal request will not be much entertained, but if it is from the institution, they will entertain it, I think, bit higher than that of the individual request. So it is better to request to the institution if it is if the applicant is from a particular institution, or otherwise he or she can make a request to again through an email. If he or she can make a request to have a physical interview like thing. Nowadays it is not that difficult. It is not a group interview, it is an individual interview. So then he or she can forward the CV and make a request to have a physical interview. Again, if he or she from an institution, it is much better if you request to the institution. I think that is the way that we have. Okay. Because if he or she a NITA trainee, we also can interfere to that.
Because I think it explains well. I think it explains well to the participant. And there was another question related to ISL membership. He was asking whether he can apply for the job with the pending ISL membership. Yes, you can, because even I have done it when I was at the pending period. And but to be honest, the chances are very low if it's a company which is totally into the ISL membership. But if it's a private sector company, you might pass your interview and you will get the job, and your talents and your attitude, those will matter more than the ISL membership. That totally depends on the organization that you are trying to get a job at. This panel discussion will end here. And I would like to thank Chartered Engineer GRS Unatilaka, Chartered Engineer EK Indranatha, Mr. Sithira Hevarachi and Mrs. Padma Samaradivakara for assisting us and all the participants to have a clear mind about every question that we had related to fresh graduate jobs and internships. And I would like to thank you all, and I would like to thank all participants who participated and projected questions, because your question actually not answered only for you. It explained to all the other participants, so every question mattered. So thank you everyone. If you have any more questions, you can project it to Kumudita, so they can project it to me. He can project it to me or any of the panel members, and you will be answered even after the discussion. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Anupama. So now we are remarking the end of today's event. But before winding up the session, I would like to request all the participants to turn on their cameras, so a memorable one. So if all the participants could please turn on your cameras, our technical team would be prepared to take a snapshot. I guess these are the people who are willing to take a snapshot. We can wait a couple more seconds, giving time for others to turn on their cameras too. All right, so hence, as the time is running, we'll get a snapshot on the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll get another snapshot on 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, everyone. So once again, before winding up, these resource persons here who came here to share their valuable time with us amidst their busy schedules are a valuable asset to everybody who is present here. I hope everyone had a wonderful, insightful session and you got to know more about industrial training and internships and how you should shape your career and your future according to it. So now it's time to thank the special guests who were present here today regarding the knowledge that they shared here. So right now it's time for a small token of appreciation. As the OC, on behalf of the OC, we would like to present this to all the guests who are present here today. So first of all, I would like to present the token of appreciation to Chartered Engineer GRAS Gunathilaka sir. So your efforts and your knowledge that you shared here with us was a real pleasure to us, and it was really an immense. I would like to present a token of appreciation to Chartered Engineer E.K. Indranath. Thank you so much, Mr. Indranath. Your knowledge was so much valuable, and I hope it was as the same to all the participants who are present here today. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to present a token of appreciation to Mrs. Padma. Ma'am, your knowledge and your thoughts were so much insightful to everybody, and we got more idea on NITA as well. Hoping to work with you all in future as well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to present a token to Mr. Sithira Hevarachi, who shared really good knowledge on the side of IT and cybersecurity as well. Sir, I hope you have inspired many who are present here today, and thank you so much for your time and effort.
Thank you very much.
Last but not least, we would like to also present a token of appreciation to Ms. Anupama Bandara, who took the floor and conducted this session really well and helped and assisted many in clarifying their doubts regarding industrial training and internships. Thank you so much, Ms. Anupama Bandara. So that remarks the end of today's event. Before you all leave, you might have already found the feedback form on the chat. So please leave your valuable feedbacks to us so that we could correct ourselves in the future, and we can also value your feedback with much more rich content in the future. So before winding up the session, now I would like to call Tisuri, who is the Secretary of TraiNext 2021, to once again thank you all for your efforts and your presence.
Thank you, Hassan. Am I audible?
Yes, Tisuri, you are audible.
Good afternoon to all. It's a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our engineering and IT panelists, Chartered Engineer GRAS Gunatilaka, General Manager at CECB, Chartered Engineer EK Indranatha, Chief Electric Engineer, Goal Area Ceylon Electricity Board, Mr. Settara Hevarachi, Information Security Analyst at Sri Lanka CERT, Mrs. Padma Samaradivakara, Director, Quality Division, NITA, who despite their busy schedule have found time to be with us and grace this occasion. I must thank again for gifting us with such valuable and useful ideas. And I would like to thank to our moderator, Ms. Anupama Bandara, for dedicating your valuable time and helping us to make this session a success. Next, I would like to thank the Office of Industrial Liaison of SLTC for joining hands with us to make this event a success. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Shamini Pereira, Head of Business School at SLTC, and our student advisors, Mr. Sasindu Kumar Singha, Treasurer of IEEE Student Branch of SLTC, and Mr. Amod Sahabandhu, Webmaster of IEEE Student Branch of SLTC, for kind support and guidance to make this event a success. We are grateful to our Student Branch President, Mr. Timothy Pereira, for his leadership and guidance on behalf of the organizing committee. I thank Mr. Kumudin Upamal, Chairman of TraiNext, on behalf of the organizing committee for his vision and strength given to us, which enabled us to achieve success. My heartfelt thanks goes to all the committee members who worked tirelessly during these couple of highly intensive weeks. Without the contribution from all of you, this event would not have been a reality. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants gathered here with us this afternoon for brightening up this session by being active and energetic. So I believe it's time to wrap up the proceedings. Again, on behalf of the TraiNext Organizing Committee and the IEEE Student Branch of SLTC, I would like to thank every personality who contributed to the success achieved. See you again in the second session of TraiNext. Until then, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tisuri. So that remarks the end of today's event, TraiNext 2021. Hope to see you all again in future with many more projects as such. And until then, I'm signing off. I'm Hassan. Stay safe and have a good night.